I printed out 20 copies, which we're getting
For what?
of the Conto D.
Okay. Oh, can I have one?
Yeah. Ben, I'm gonna take
Versus using my phone.
Jordan needs one too. No.
I love how it's the chords too.
I thought about doing something like that.
No, it's okay.
No, I was just trying. You're late. In about a week, you can see this. I've seen the lights go out on Broadway.
Jordan, vote for me for Men to the Month. Okay. Deal.
Nemato umanai sheberati gana. Nemato umanai sheberati gana. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Nemato umanai sheberati gam yachad. Nemato umanai sheberati gam yachad. Welcome, everybody. We are glad to see all of you on what I expected to be a rainy night, but it's actually turned out to be okay. If you will please turn to page 2 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. We'll turn to page 4 now for Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Ladonai b'nei Elim, Havu Ladonai kavod va'oz, Havu Ladonai kavod shemo, Ishtachavu Ladonai b'hadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim, Adonai amayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arsei halvanon. Vayarkitem kimo egel, Levanon v'siryon, kimo ben remim. Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, Vayechesof ya'arot uvheichalo, Kulo omer kavod. Adonai lamabul yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Please turn to page 5. Actually, nope. Get the sheet of paper that you should all have for the Chadodi. Did we change the key of this? I don't remember either. Well,
No.
I don't think we did, yeah. Please rise and face the rear of the room. We will bow on the last line as if we're welcoming a bride. If you ever will please remain standing and turn to page 6 for Baruch Hu. Yada lie, lie, lie. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Gotta lie, lie, lie. 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 Please be seated. We'll turn to page 7 for Avat Olam. Avat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shachveinu uvkumeinu, Nasiach bechukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, Uv'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, Ve'orech yameinu, Ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavtecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Please turn to page 8 and 9 for the Shema V'ahavta, and please rise. We will read Shema V'ahavta together in Hebrew, followed by together in English. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And silently. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavcha, U'b'chol nafshecha, U'b'chol me'otecha, V'hayu advarim ha'ele, Asher anochi mitzavecha, Hayom al levavecha, V'shinatam levanecha, V'dibarta bam, V'shivtecha b'veitecha, Uvlechtecha b'derech, Uvshachbecha uvkumecha, Uvshartam leot yadecha, V'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, Uvisharecha. Turn to page 9 and we will recite as a community together in English. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Praised be the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty is forever and ever. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Please be seated and turn to page 11, Vishamra. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lahasot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam berit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lahasot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Ahuti leolam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lahasot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam berit olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lahasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lahasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Please turn to page 10 for Micha Mocha.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Yalalai, yalalai, Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai?
As you all know, this is the part of the service where I'd like to talk a little bit about the Torah portion. I love teams. I grew up playing sports. I was a soccer player and I was a football player. In high school, for game days, I was excited. Not because I was going to necessarily play a whole lot. 5'6" defensive backs at big public high schools in Florida don't necessarily tend to see the field a huge amount. But mostly because it was a time to be together with my teammates. And I knew that regardless of how much I was going to see the field, I was going to get to wear my jersey to school. me and my teammates would be immediately identifiable to the other students. And even if they were ambivalent at best about the football team, it was something that united us and set us apart on that day. When I was reading this week's Parsha, this is Parashat Tetzaveh, I thought a lot about uniforms. This Parsha deals significantly with Aaron's clothes. On one hand, of course, there's an expectation that uniforms make us uniform, make us the same. They are something that people are wearing to be similar. But of course, there's also uniforms that set different groups of people apart. This week, in more than 40 verses, that's a lot of this Parsha, the Torah describes the Bigdei Kodesh, the holy clothes. Aaron and his sons are commanded to wear extremely particular, extremely detailed clothes when they come before Adonai. It's clear just from the descriptions that these would have been beautiful. And given that everything that's attached to them, probably heavy. And of course, they marked the Kohanim as a separate group, the only group trusted to enter the tabernacle, to intercede on behalf of the Israelites. Obviously, I understand the purpose of uniforms in sports and in the military and in marching bands even though I think marching band uniforms are silly. No offense to anybody in this room who was, in fact, I'm now seeing offended faces, so my apologies. Not really, they're silly. But in this context, I was a little bit confused at first about why the Torah spends more than 40 verses going into the detail about these clothes. After spending so much time last week talking about the ark, it seems that we're entering a period of extreme detail, and we need to make sense of why. Why does the Torah care so much about what the Kohanim are wearing? As in most things, Ramban has an answer. And his argument was that the priests' clothes did not only add to their status, marking them apart as the group of the wandering Israelites who were allowed to go into the tabernacle, but also they raised the honor and esteem of the divine one whom they served. These, of course, weren't the everyday clothes that Aaron and his sons would have worn. They were specific for a unique purpose that was for times when they needed to enter the tabernacle. And so, of course, this prompted me to think, what equivalence in our lives do we have to wearing specific clothes to show honor, or specific ways of being, show honor to a specific circumstance? Well, first of all, we dress up for important events. Looking around this room, it's clear that we dressed up for Shabbat. Most people are not necessarily wearing the clothes they wear every day. I was at a wedding this last weekend, and my son was very excited to be wearing 3 shirts. He was the ring bearer in the wedding. He was very excited to be wearing 3 shirts. It was actually a shirt, a vest, and a jacket, but it was 3 shirts. Fine. This is too easy. It's too obvious to talk about formal clothes. I'm talking about, how do we, in our own lives, show honor and respect to our surroundings? And one of the things that I was really thinking about, and it's something that I know, along with most of you in this room, struggle with, is how we give each other our full attention. How we are actively, not just actively listening like you perhaps learned in high school, but how we're really dialed in to what somebody else is saying. And one of the things that I've had to do, partially because, like I'm guessing all 20 plus of you in this room, I have a fairly significant cell phone addiction. When I'm having important conversations, especially important conversations with my wife, one of the things that I have taught myself to do is just to turn my phone over. My phone's usually on silent anyway, but to turn it over. I can't be distracted by an ESPN alert. Can't be distracted by my dad and brothers saying something ridiculous. I am fully giving my attention. It's not an all the time thing. Sometimes I would like the ESPN alerts, or sometimes I'm going back and forth with my dad and brothers. But when a situation merits it, this is something that is a way I am consecrating my own situation. Not everything we do will be on par with Aaron, communicating with Adonai. That seems to be a relatively unique situation. Not everything requires this level of adornment, requires this level of mindset. But as a metaphor, the Bigdei Kodesh, these holy clothes, do have significant application in our lives. Deep, meaningful connection, the kind that requires intent, the kind that requires giving specific attention, is sort of our modern day equivalent of Aaron and his sons dressing in the appropriate garb, becoming consecrated in the way that the Tanakh dictates. So they are appropriately clad to enter the tabernacle. I promised my wife I would use the word clad. Actually, she asked me if I wrote this specifically to use the word clad, and I did. As we enter another Shabbat of rest and rejuvenation. Everyone else hears that, right? Okay, cool. I want us all to reflect on the ways in which we wear our metaphorical clothes. Metaphorically, we are donning these Bigdei Kodesh, behaving and acting in some small way like Aaron and his sons. And may we be intentional and focused in our interactions with each other. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue now on page 12 with Chatzi Karish, followed by the Amida. Yikada v'yikada shemei rabba ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon u'chayetecho beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yeheshmei Rabba Mivorach Le'olam Olam Le'almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach Yitba'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Kudesha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yalma v'yemeru amen. Everyone will please rise and turn to page 13. We will read the first two pages, recite them together as a community. Then you will have time for personal, individual prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevik Ula Livnei V'Nehem, L'man Shemo Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Turn the page. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav U'Moshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Nofrim Ve'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Me'mit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atav HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Please read silently or recite your own personal prayers. When you are done and there is no rush, you may be seated.
Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahum melech hatov Ki atahum melech hatov lechol hashalom. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Please turn now to page 19 for Misha Berach. Keep in mind, anybody in your life, in our community, who needs healing, whether it's physical or spiritual, emotional healing.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say, Amen. Mikor ha'bracha le'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with the Ruach Shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, Amen.
Thank you. If you will turn to page 20, and please rise for our laning. Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, Lateit gdula yotzeh Bereshit, shelo asanu gdulei ha'aratzot, velo samanu mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam kafinu kahem, vegor aleinu bechol ha'olam, v'anachnu orim, U'mishatavim u'rotim, Rifnei melech malchei hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu notei shamayim ve'yosei haaretz, U'moshav yikaro b'shamayim nima'al, U'shkinatu zo, ve'gavei meromi. Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Lefkesulato, Kakatu, V'torato, V'yatahayom, V'hashegota, Eloheinu, Ki Adonai hu Elohim, B'shamayim ima'al, V'al ha'aretz, Mihisavenu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, V'melech kol ha'aretz, V'yom ha'hu, Yireh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. Everyone will please remain standing on page 21 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'almad zivrach kiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayachon u'vyomechon u'chayei zechol beit Yisrael, v'agalah u'bizman kariv v'yemru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almayim. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitzroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei l'kudusha. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. Ta'amiran be'olam v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrabav v'yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. All right, please be seated. This week, and I have the calendar up. Let's see. This week, tomorrow night there is a Havdalah here, upstairs, courtyard at 7:30. It is campfire themed. Monday, I have an office hour at the Starbucks in Memory Mall at 11 a.m. Mitzvah Monday, there is letters. You're going to write letters for soldiers, 2 to 3 p.m. In Memory Mall on the opposite side in front of the ROTC building. Tuesday, there is kindness card at 10:30. And then I have a lunch and learn, which was going to be summer camps, but we'll do that next week. It's going to be the Jewish view on drugs and alcohol. I expected that kind of response. Wednesday, there is a breakfast for dinner nosh. What's the food? I know it's breakfast. Don't just make your own pancakes. Okay. Thursday, Menchie's fundraiser. Go to Menchie's, support Hillel. There's a Congo River outing. Ben?
It is RSVP mandated. Please use the RSVP link. It's a special link. It's not just the overall RSVP one. 6:15, 8:30. It's free, right? If you need them, let us know.
Congo River is miniature golf.
Yes.
In case people are unaware. Okay. Friday, Shabbat services. A week from today, the Rollins Hillel will be joining us for Shabbat. It will be awesome. And I think that's it. I was prepared today. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. More applause. More applause. We will end tonight. If I can put this back in my guitar. We'll end tonight with Salam. We didn't rehearse this.
What?
We didn't rehearse this.
No, we didn't. We'll see if I remember the words.
Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Hey al kulam. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Hey al kulam. Salam.
Salam.
Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. Salam. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. Salam. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiyavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Y'all will go next door.